why getting in a lean and energetic shape is your golden ticket to skyrocket your persuasion and sales skills in 2024 and beyond. So, for those who don't know me, I'm Coach Ábris, founder of Demi Cycle Protocol, and we help high achievers and corporate executives over the age of 40 and 50 get in the best shape of their life, double their natural energy levels, and sustainably and permanently get below 15% body fat without having to do restrictive diets, without having to count calories, take sleep drugs, abuse stimulants, or do any of that bullshit in less than 2 to 3 hours per week, the time efficient and sustainable way. And how does this, or what does this have to do with sales and persuasion? So first of all, you gotta understand, if you are below the age of 40 and happen to watch this video, you might find some value in it, right? Because you gotta understand that in this turbulent world, which is changing very, very fast, most of the jobs, most of the operations will be automated in about 5 to 10 years. And well, if you don't believe that, so do your own research. You know, I've been around a couple of tech founders, I have tech founder clients, and what's going on inside the industry is insane. So you've got to understand that there will be just a handful of skills, a handful of jobs left for you to absolutely dominate an industry and build real wealth. And one of them will be sales, one of them will be persuasion, because that's something that we can't outsource, or at least not in a foreseeable future. We can't outsource to robots, we can't outsource it to AI or whatever we call it. I just prefer to call it machine learning and software. It's a little bit overhyped, but yes, it's true. There will be massive changes across all industries. So if you're younger than 40 years old, you haven't built real wealth yet, you do not own too many assets, you gotta understand this will be your golden ticket out of the coming technocratic feudalism, or call it whatever you want. But let's not paint a dark picture. You've got this, you're capable of this, you can do this. So if you happen to be a younger guy, keep watching this video. If you are your audience, so you happen to be a man over 40, 50, working a high performing job, or being an executive at a company, or having your own business, right? In that case, you still have to maintain your persuasion skills. But if your health is deteriorating, if your appearance is not where you could be proud of that, well, then how will you keep persuading? How will you keep convincing your team to be bought into your vision, right? Because money is not everything, especially you know it if you are worth more than $25 million, as I have mentioned in one of my previous videos. You know that beyond that level, just accumulating more wealth and more power is not your primary pursuit, especially if you have done the majority of your job, you have been hustling for decades, you're over 40, 50. Men naturally get tired, but men also need a purpose, right? And as I have mentioned in one of my previous videos, I highly recommend you to check it out. You need to find a new purpose, you need to find a new goal to chase. This is how you keep yourself alive, and this is how you can stay basically young forever. Those men who keep themselves active tend to live decades longer than those who just choose to retire after a massive exit from a company, right? Or after they have just accumulated enough assets to retire and also retire their families forever, yeah? If you happen to be one of these men, it's crucial to have a new purpose and crucial to keep yourself active. Or if you're still in business, or if you're just about to exit your company and you want to just create the best conditions possible for yourself, you need to be persuasive. And how to become more persuasive? So for both men younger than 40 and for both men older than 40, is the same equation. You gotta get your body and your mind in shape, and both of them are equally important, right? So there are countless of advantages of being more persuasive and being in a better shape. So first of all, let's admit, humans, us, we are shallow, right? So first impressions matter. The way people look at you for the first time, the way they perceive you, tells a lot about how much they are willing to trust you, how much they are willing to be bought into your vision, and how much they are willing to support you. Do they like you? Do they not like you? You do look like a guy who they can trust, right? Do you look like a guy who takes care of himself, takes care of his body, and takes his health seriously. Because if you're taking your health seriously, probably you're taking your job seriously, you're taking the offer that you're selling for seriously, or you're taking your own offer, your own business, your own product seriously, and you're putting in the work. Why? Because a nicely built, chiseled body, and I'm not talking about a bodybuilder physique, I'm not talking about being a strongman, powerlifter, or whatever. That's too much for you. You don't need to adapt to that style of training. That's what I'm saying to my clients as well. Just go to the gym or train at home 2 to 4 times per week, make it as intense as possible and finish quickly. I mean, in the gym. But you need to be rigorous. You don't need to live like a bodybuilder, right? You just want to eat a high protein diet, sleep well, focus on your sleep quality, like, increase your energy levels and stay active. And with this you can build an amazing physique. So you don't have to live like an athlete, you don't have to live like a bodybuilder or powerlifter and basically feel like you want to kill yourself after each workout and after each meal that you have to force feed or whatever, or starve yourself on a diet. No, absolutely not. You just gotta be in a decent, lean and energetic shape, preferably below 15% body fat, and cultivating those high energy levels that allow you to crush it every single day. For both younger men and for both older men, it applies for everyone. It applies for basically everyone. But the thing is, if you're older, your energy levels are naturally dropping, but it shouldn't give you an excuse why not to improve your health. It should be a motivation for you of why to continue, why to keep going, right? And it becomes more and more important. Sleep quality becomes more and more important above the age of 35 when your natural sleep hormone melatonin levels start dropping. The same goes for your testosterone levels. If they are dropping, you will experience fatigue, brain fog, a lack of drive, a lack of libido, and all of these unpleasant side effects that you want to avoid. But the good news is you can double your energy levels and even triple your testosterone levels even above the age of 40, just like many of my clients have done this before. But the thing is, you want to be making a good first impression. It doesn't matter if you are getting on a sales call or like a real life sales meeting, especially if you're working in like bigger industries, not necessarily meaning tech or anything, but for example, if you work in the energy sector and you're closing like multi 8-figure deals or even 9-figure deals in energy spending sometimes, you gotta go out there, you sometimes gotta fly out there and convince the stakeholders of that certain company, and you have to appear somehow. It's not just you are, putting on your finest suit or shirt or whatever. You gotta look good on that shirt. You gotta feel confident in that shirt. And humans are shallow. They look at you and they will draw their consequences. Is it bad or not? I don't really care. But the thing is, us humans, we have biases because this is our way of learning. We learn through biases. And sometimes these rules, sometimes these biases are useful for us to distinguish a certain type of person from another, right? And if you want to prove them wrong, well, you gotta hustle twice as hard, and that it is what it is. And when it comes to your physique, sorry, my mic is coming up in the meantime. Okay, we don't really care, but I really wanted to tell you this message. So, the thing is, they will look at you, draw their consequences, and immediately have a first impression, a first thought in their minds about you, and whether it is wrong or right, it doesn't really matter. It is what it is, because we are humans, we are visual creatures, and we prefer to like what we see, right? And if we see an out of shape person, so for example, if the stakeholders at that meeting see that you are out of shape, you're not taking care of yourself, you're not nicely groomed, you do not take care of your appearance, they will think automatically that, okay, you probably are negligent in other areas, other facets of your life, or other domains of your company, right? And you don't want to make the first impression. Okay, second thing is the handshake. If you have a funny and weak handshake, your peers won't really respect you. And you can tell me that this is toxic masculinity or whatever, but I don't give a damn, because it still works like this. Majority of the business world today is dominated by men or overly masculine females who are very successful at what they do, and sometimes even they have a stronger handshake than majority of the men out there. So that's why grip strength, mobility, And just generally, muscle power is important, right? Not just looking good, not just not just being an all-show no-go. No, you want to be like what majority of the people call functional strength is just real strength, but channeled into the right places. So, if you are considering investing in your health and getting in shape finally, that's not about vanity. It's not only about first impressions. That could be about a strong handshake, right? That could be about the aura that you have around you. So that kind of gravitas that you enter a room with. So everybody sees and everybody senses that energy. So if you are on a sales meeting, if you are on a negotiation meeting with a supplier, if you are about to exit your company and you're meeting the investors, or for example, if over the age of 40 things haven't gone too well for you in terms of your love life, and you suddenly, all of a sudden, you find yourself in the 2024 dating market, and it's wild out there, you know. I'm just so grateful for my girlfriend at this point, because getting out to the 2024 dating market, it's wild. It's manageable if you're in a good shape, if you have a good sense of humor, and if your energies are in the right place, right? You can still dominate, but it's certainly harder than it was in your time, for example, back in the early 2000s or the 90s, right? When you were much younger than you are today. And you know, that's okay, the world is changing and you gotta adapt, you know? The people who survive and thrive even in this day and age are the ones who can adapt the most successfully. And it doesn't mean giving up your values, it doesn't mean giving up your principles. It's just like sneaking your way through the situation and dominating, being confident about yourself. And you need aura for that. How can you have and when can you have that kind of aura that attracts people, that kind of aura that convinces people to be bought into your vision, right? Well, if you are in shape, and not because that you look good, not because that you are strong, that's because you're feeling confident about yourself. What does confidence mean? It means self-trust. You're trusting yourself, so others are more likely to trust you. And these are highly correlated with how high your energy levels are, how well you sleep, and how high your testosterone levels are. So if your testosterone levels have dropped recently in your 40s, that's completely natural, but I want you to realize this simple fact that you can easily double or triple that through natural methods and principles. That's very simple. That's one of the simplest things to do. Even though today there is a massive decline in testosterone levels, there is a testosterone pandemic all over the world, and this has been going for 6 or 7 decades by now, but you can still do something against it with just a few habits and simple lifestyle changes. So your brain fog will be gone, your energy levels will be much higher, and if beyond this you're fixing your sleep, it will be so much easier for you to lose fat. It will be so much easier for you to get in the best shape of your life and have that kind of energy and clarity on your daily schedule every single day, that you're just crushing through your entire to-do list and you walk into every situation with 100% confidence. So this is what you need. This is how you build up that kind of energy, that kind of aura that makes yourself trust in you and others also trust in you. So if you can put your trust in yourself, if you can take care of yourself, probably you can take care of others as well. And what's the meaning of life if not being useful, especially for a man, or taking care of yourself and taking care of others in general? That's the meaning of life, because if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an executive, you are a giver. You are a massive giver because you're giving value to the world. And usually you have to produce, that's the simple math of it, you have to produce 10 times the value for the amount of value in assets or money you get out of it, right? So you gotta make someone $1 billion if you want to get $100 million out of it. So this is how the equation works most of the time. That's why you're a giver. As an entrepreneur, as a high performer, you're a giver, you're giving a lot to the world. Probably you are a conservative person, you have a family, and you are giving your time and your attention to them. But if you have no energy, what will you give from, right? If you have low energy levels, you are less of a giver actually, because for the same amount of the same unit of time, you can give less of yourself in terms of quality to others. And this will be the low energy levels will be the one that you walk into the sales call with, the negotiation meetings or the exit meeting, like selling your company, the acquisition deals, all of these things, if you cultivate like a very low energy, you are underslept, undertrained, and not well nourished in terms of food and supplementation, you will have a very hard time just getting ahead or sustaining your position, because the competition is fierce. It's getting wilder and wilder today, especially that now the top performing guys in sales and generally business, the ones who have a personal brand and create content and stuff like that, thinking of Andy Elliott, thinking of Alex Hormozy, all of them are in an amazing shape. And you know, it doesn't matter if someone is 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, they look at these guys and they are like, wow, how well they look. Damn, okay, insane shape, especially if you're a man. Because all of us men, we are competitive. We are competitive when it comes to athleticism, explosiveness, muscle mass, raw strength, raw muscle power. When it comes to dating success, success with women, or success with building a family, building wealth, you know, we like to learn from each other and compete with each other. And when you look at these guys who are the most successful, you also want to be like them. You also want to mimic their habits and stuff like that. But the thing is, the key to success for you is not being a copycat, but finding the system and the principles that you can put in place, that you can just copy paste and apply, customize for your own lifestyle, and that allows you to become that high energy, high testosterone person who crushes it with sales, who crushes it with persuasion, dating, whatever areas of your life you want to improve. If you happen to be a man over 40 or 50 and you already have a family, probably dating is not going to be that, but your marriage can massively improve, your family life can massively improve, because you have more energy to play with your kids and to actively partake in their uprising. And it's super important, especially that nowadays even the so-called present fathers are not present in their kids' life. They barely spend any time with them, and if you happen to be this person, don't feel guilty, just change about this. Just make a change, make some lifestyle changes that allow you to maximize the quality of that little amount of time that you can spend with them if you're busy. If you're not busy anymore, if you already sold your company, you just want to make sure that the time that you spend with them is actually quality and you can actively contribute to their progress in life. Why? Because the powers that be, they don't want your kids to be healthy. They are giving them McDonald's and terrible food and all this stuff. And I'm not saying that you can't eat fast food every once in a while. Even I eat Burger King and McDonald's and all this stuff about once or twice a month. There's nothing wrong about that. I'm just saying that the food that your kids are getting, if you are not conscious about it, the propaganda that they are receiving about all the bullshit that's going on, the education and all that stuff, if you can't just a little bit remove them from majority of the system, and you can't take over and you can't show a great example with your health, with your intellect, with your energy levels and the way that you have structured your life, if you can't show a good example, they are not going to follow you. Or they are going to follow you but in the wrong way. They will also become overweight, obese, low energy. Or if they don't see you as a leader, as an authority in the family, they might get sidetracked by drugs, by alcohol, by, well, any kind of anti-human propaganda that we can see right now. I don't want to talk too much about that, you know what I mean, you know what kids are being influenced by Disney and all that stuff, right? You don't want them to be at that spot. You don't want to see your daughter grow up and become your son, or vice versa. Okay, not talking more about this today. But the thing is, if you are at a spot where you're already successful, you want to maintain this status, or you just simply want to focus more on your energy levels and your family. For example, if you, of course, dating is not relevant for you anymore, and you don't want to like convince a girl to go to bed with you, or for example to form a serious relationship, right? Whatever type you are, I don't judge. But the thing is, even if you're married, you want to sell yourself to your wife every single day. You want to convince herself, you want to show her the love that you feel. You have to convey it somehow. And how else do you do that if not with your energies? or not with taking care of your body, like showing it like, you know what, honey, I'm 45, I'm 50 years old, but I still got it. I still I'm capable of being attractive to you, right? And she will appreciate that. Like, you know what my clients told me, 45, 46 years old, they told me that their wives are appreciating their increased vitality in the bedroom, their better time management, so they can go on weekly or bi-weekly dates when only they are present, no kids, no distractions, only them. It improves their relationship in general, especially if you happen to have a younger wife than you with higher energy levels than you, right? It's natural, of course, but you want to keep up the rhythm, and you want to keep up the rhythm with your kids, you want to keep up the rhythm with your grandkids if you already happen to have a few. So but it's all persuasion. Everything is persuasion in the world, everything is sales. Convincing people that you are still worthy, that you are still useful. That's the life of a man. And you shouldn't be bitching and complaining about this, just making a few simple tweaks, a few simple changes, and this is exactly what we are doing to our clients. We're not telling you to eat a carnivore diet, go on keto, work out in the gym 6 hours a week, spend hours on the treadmill, do like intense cardio sessions, whatever. We are going for the fun and sustainable way that's easy to integrate into your lifestyle. So, if you happen to be a guy who wants to massively increase his energy levels and persuasion skills this year, or if you're already good at sales and persuasion, you are an entrepreneur, corporate executive over the age of 40 and 50, but you feel like you could have more vitality, you want to live longer, and generally you want to have a lean and energetic shape. You don't want to look like a bodybuilder, you just want to feel like an athletic person. If you are this type of person and you're ready to massively change your life and your health in 2024, and you are ready to make a commitment, you're ready to invest in your health with your time, with your financial resources, and with your attention of learning and sustaining the results for the rest of your life, and permanently change and become unrecognizable in less than 6 months, without counting calories, without spending more than 2 to 3 hours per week in the gym or at your home gym, or just generally training with your body weight, anything can be solved, and you want to massively improve your sleep and energy levels, then go to the description and book a free call with us, and we will craft up an entire game plan for you. We will show you a roadmap of how your progress would realistically look like in the next 6 months, and we will find out if we are a good fit to work with each other and to get you to the level where you can also cultivate these energies, that you can talk straight to the camera for 23 minutes just like I do right now without a single interruption, right? Because that's also the result of high energy levels and being passionate about what you do. But how could you be truly passionate if you don't have the energy to convey your passion and to show it to the world, right? But if you happen to procrastinate, and if you're hesitating, if you're not sure if it is the right thing for you to do, or if you happen to come up with excuses that it's not the right time, it's just not for you, you have a slow metabolism, you have bad genetics and all that stuff, so if you come up with excuses and you're not ready to invest in your health, I do not recommend you to book a free call with us, because probably we are just gonna end up wasting each other's time. But it doesn't mean that you couldn't book it in the future and we couldn't work together. My advice to you, my brutally honest advice, is just to get your mind in shape first, and your body will follow. And if you want to find out more about how to change your brain chemistry, how to rewire this, how to change your mindset in a way that you will be ready to be invested, ready to make a commitment, and ready to make it happen, especially that we customize everything for you and we make it tailored to your lifestyle, so it's not just copy-paste anymore. So if you're ready to make this type of change, then go through my previous videos where I teach you exactly just that. How to change your mindset, how to change your habits, and how to do that in a sustainable way. And once you get there, and once you're that type of person, you can go to the description of this video and book a free call with us, with Demi Cycle Protocol, and we will help you with the same things as for the first group of guys who are already ready for making a commitment and an investment for their health that stays on permanently and guarantees sustainable results. And if you generally enjoy this video and my energy is being let out in front of the camera, then hit the like and the subscribe button, share this with your family, your friends, your colleagues, your employees, your team members, or whoever is important to you, and whoever you want to improve their persuasion and sales skills in 2024 and beyond. So let's dominate the future together, let's become high energy individuals, all of us who are in this tight-knit community, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I always invite you to have cultured and civilian and intellectual discussion below. So let me know your thoughts, let me know your questions, and yes, I'm about to start up, or you might have seen one of my longer form videos, I'm about to start up a Q&A interview series in the future where I answer all of your questions here on YouTube. And yeah, all of them will be answered, all of them will be compiled, and yeah, I will help you out to my best knowledge and experiences. So thank you in advance for that, and see you in the next one. Goodbye.